जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। यमुना तीरा। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। यमुना। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। वनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। ब्रज जन। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। ब्रज जन। यशोदानंदन जनरञ्जन यमुना तीर वनचारी यमुना तीर वनचारी हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने आराध्यो भगवान् व्रजेशतनयास्तद्धाम वृन्दावनं रम्या काचिदुपासना व्रजवधूवर्गेण वा कल्पितः श्रीमद्भागवतं प्रमाणममलं प्रेम प्रमार्तो महान् श्रीचैतन्य महाप्रभोर्मतमिदं तत्रादरो न परः यं प्रव्रजन्तमनुपेत अपेतकृत्यं द्वैपायनो विरह कातर आजुआहो पुत्रेति तन्मया तरविर्दुस्तं भूतहृदयं मुनिमानतोऽस्मि सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रय विनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नमः वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो महावदन्नाय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, वासुदेवाय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम, chapter entitled Knowledge of the Absolute, Jnana Vijnana Yoga. And chapter text number 29. jarā-maraṇa-mokṣāya māṁ āśritya yatanti ye te brahma tad viduḥ kṛtsnam adhyātmam karma cākhilam jarā-maraṇa-mokṣāya māṁ āśritya yatanti ye te brahma tad viduḥ kṛtsnam adhyātmam karma cākhilam jarā-maraṇa-mokṣāya māṁ āśritya yatanti ye te brahma tad viduḥ kṛtsnam adhyātmam karma cākhilam. Hare Krishna. Jara from old age, Marana and death, Mokṣāya for the purpose of liberation, Mam me, āśritya taking shelter of, yatanti endeavor, ye all those who, they, such persons, Brahma, Brahman, Tat, actually that, viduḥ, they know, kṛtsnam, everything, adhyātmam, transcendental, karma, activities, cha, also, akhilam, entirely. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhicharananda Srila Prabhupada. The Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. Intelligent persons who are enduring for liberation from old age and death take refuge in me in devotional service. They are actually Brahman because they entirely know everything about transcendental activities. So repeat after me. Intelligent persons who are enduring for liberation from old age and death take refuge in me in devotional service. They are actually Brahman because they entirely know everything about transcendental activities. Purport. Birth, death, old age and disease affect this material body, but not the spiritual body. There is no birth, death, old age and disease for the spiritual body. So one who attains a spiritual body becomes one of the associates of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and engages in eternal devotional service is really liberated. Ahaṁ brahmāsmi. I am spirit. It is said that one should understand that he is Brahman, spirit, soul. This Brahman concept of life is also in devotional service as described in this verse. The pure devotees are transcendentally situated on the Brahman platform and they know everything about transcendental activities. 4 kinds of impure devotees who engage themselves in the transcendental service of the Lord achieve their respective goals. And by the grace of the Supreme Lord, when they are fully Krishna conscious, they actually enjoy spiritual association with the spiritual Lord. But those who are worshippers of demigod never reach the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Supreme Lord, in his spiritual planet. Even the less intelligent Brahman realize persons cannot reach the supreme planet of Krishna known as Golok Vrindavan. Only persons who perform activities in Krishna consciousness, mam āśritya, are actually entitled to be called Brahman. Because they are actually enduring to reach the Krishna planet. Such persons have no misgivings about Krishna and thus they are factually Brahman. Those who are engaged in worshipping the form or archa of the Lord or who are engaged in meditation on the Lord simply for liberation from material bondage also know by the grace of the Lord the purports of Brahman, Adhibhuta, etc. as explained by the Lord in the next chapter. Hare Krishna. So you have been hearing this Bhagavad Gita, especially this particular chapter, since so many days. As Sri Lord, when he starts this Bhagavad Gita chapter, 7th chapter, knowledge about the Absolute, he says, Maya sakta manha partha yogam yunjun madashraya. And in this way, he starts his chapter, and the in second verse he says that Jnanam teham savidnyanam idam vakshami asheshyatah yajnatva bhuyo anyat gyatavam avishishyate. He clearly mentions that Jnanam teham savidnyanam. I shall declare right now phenomenon and numinous. Both the knowledge he will tell. I'm just telling, I'll be telling right now. By telling this, by understanding this, there is nothing to be known for you. Everything, it will be known to you. He clearly mentions everything there. So this chapter is very important for everyone, each of us. And so many different verses are there which are very famous that you already have gone through. In this particular chapter, this particular verse which is mentioned here, which has been given to me, jarā-maraṇa-mokṣāya māṁ āśritya yatanti ted brahma tad viduḥ kṛtsnam adhyātmam karma cākhilam. So, by grace of my Guru Maharaj, by grace of all the Vaishnavas assembled here and all the inhabitants of Vrindavan, yatha adhitam yatha matihi. This everyone knows that whatever we realize, a soul realizes, accordingly he presents. So, I'll try to explain this. Vyakhya is the one of the word in Hindi, Vyakhya we say. Vyakhyata. We always hear that. Vyakhyata means lecturer or he explains everything. Vishesh rupena khyapayati sa vyakhya. Whatever it is mentioned, the subject matter is there in front of us. When it is being explained properly, that is called vyakhya. So every lecturer, whoever sits here, he tries to explain whatever verse has been given to him. So here, this verse, it is very important. And before that, you have already heard Esham Tuntagatam Papam Jananam Punyakarmanam Te Dvandva Moho Nirmukta Bhajante Mam Dradurata. So I'll try to just give some glimpse, whatever I heard, whatever I read, that everything. I always read Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur's commentary and Baldev Vidyabhushan's commentary, and Srila Prabhupada's purport also is mentioned here. So I'll try to give some glimpse about that particular commentaries, and these purports are there in front of us. So, Brahma, Adhyātma, Karma. These particular words are there. It is mentioned that that particular devotee who surrenders unto Lord Krishna, he will know Brahma, Adhyātma, Karma. And about this particular thing, Krishna will mention in the next chapter. You will get to know about that. Because when this particular verse had been heard by Arjuna, he was completely bewildered and he started inquiring. He said, Kim tad brahma kim adhyatma kim karma purushottama adhibhutam cha kim proktam adidevam kim uchyate. In that way he started inquiring. Sadhibhuta adidevam, that also he'll hear. After this verse, whatever that verse is there, the same question it will be told by Arjuna again to Krishna. He'll present that particular thing. And in about this question, when Sri Krishna, he answered, he started answering the same thing he answered there. Aksharo paramo brahmaha swabhavo adhyātmam uchyate. He clearly mentioned bhuta bhavo udbhava karaha visarga karma sanghitaha. So whatever it is mentioned here by Krishna, Brahma, Adhyatma, Akhila Karmaha. He clearly mentioned Aksharo Brahma Paramaha. The transcendental, indestructible soul is called Brahman. So the soul which we perceive, we may not see that with our eyes. Aśaryavat pashyati kaśchidedam, aśaryavat vadati taitaida chanam. This soul cannot be seen. This is very interesting, you know. Soul cannot be seen. Just yesterday, one of our devotee community passed away. The body is remaining there only, but the soul already passed away. We just feel that when we move that particular body and we see that there is no sense. When doctor suggests, just now, Dr. Krishna Darshan, if he is there, he says, okay, all organs are dead. So they writes like that. All organs are dead. So how that organs are functioning, that is like unimaginable. The soul remains there. So Krishna is talking about that particular devotee who surrendered unto him, who jarā-maraṇa-mokṣāya, who want liberation from this old age and this death. So jarā-maraṇa-mokṣāya mām āśritya. So what he will gain? This is the fruit, it is told. Tad brahma, tad viduḥ brahma adhyātma karma cākhilam. So this particular soul is indestructible and it is always eternal. We already heard so many times in Bhagavad Gita, Nainam chindati shastrani, nainam dhati pavaka, na chenam kledayan tapo, na shoshati maruta. Ajo nitya shashvatam purano na nitya anyamane. So many verses are there where Krishna clearly mentions that this particular soul always remains. And same thing he repeats several times. Here also Krishna wanted to tell that. So this particular devotee who surrendered, that particular devotee, what he sees that Brahma. That Brahma. Brahmāsmi, what you say, what Srila Prabhupada mentioned here. Ahaṁ brahmāsmi, I am the spirit, I am soul. He clearly understands, he sees that he is soul. He realizes that. And adhyātmam. Svabhavo adhyātma uchyate. Krishna is telling, he will be telling in next chapter. So in 8th chapter he will be telling, Svabhavo adhyātma uchyate. Svabhavo, the eternal nature. Eternal nature is there. In this verse, when Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan Ji Thakur, when he comments, he clearly mentions that jarā-maraṇ-eti, this jara and maraneti, it is only for the body, not for the soul. Soul is eternal. He clearly mentions there. So this is there from whatever Srila Prabhupada mentioned in Purport, that has been taken from Baldev Vidyabhushan and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. That both mixture is there, whatever he wanted, and he just took accordingly, just wrote that. So this soul is eternal, jarā-maraṇa-mokṣāya, jarā-maraṇ-eti. He clearly mentioned that soul always remains. Soul always remains. So, Brahma, adhyātma karma cākhilam, this particular thing is there, which it will be clarified, it will be explained further in next chapter. So, I'll be focusing on jarā-marana and this mām āśritya. This is very important topic, which already had been discussed of so many ways. See, this jara is a big topic, jara. When all the demigods, they assembled together, where in the prison house, where Devaki Mata was there, Vasudeva was there, in the womb Krishna already present there. At that time, they started glorifying Krishna. Satyavratam satya parantri satyam, satya se satyam nihitam cha satya, satya se satyam rita satya netram, satyātmakam tvam sharanam prapanna. With the so many verses, they started glorifying. So, in that second verse, they mention about this. What I wanted to say that, षड्-आत्मः एको अयनो असो द्विफलः त्रिमूलः चतुर्रसः पंचविधः षड्-आत्मः. In this way, they were telling about this, and they were just mentioning this all different type of things. In that, षड्-आत्मा is there, षड्-आत्मा. षड्-आत्मा means what? Lamentation, illusion, old age, death, hunger and thirst. These all षड्-आत्मा. So there also they mentioned there. These all are like, it is attached with us. We can't avoid. Anyone can't avoid. So it is very difficult. Everyone has to go to that particular phase. When anyone gets this body, at that time he has to go to 6 transformations. 6 transformations are there. First is that he takes birth, he remains for some time, this much time he will remain, he grows, he produces something, he dwindles and he annihilates. These all 6 transformations are there. Everyone has to go. Whoever souls have taken bodies, either that human body or any body. Jalaja navlakshani sthavaranam laksha vinchanti. Krumaya rudra sankhya kya? Pakshinam daksha lakshani. Trinsa lakshani pashva, chatur lakshani manusa. This all 84 lakh species are there. Different types of species are there. You see that you see some of the species, you do not see some of the species. But still they are existing. They have their own life. They have this all 6 transformations. They have to go to this all 6 transformations, one by one, one by one. They take birth, they grow up, they produce something, they again dwindle and they just get annihilated, and they have their own period. Every soul has taken body, and according that body, the period is there. You see, these dogs are there, hardly they live for 20, 30 years. These trees are there, they live long, more than 200, 300 years. So many things are there which you already know about that. So no one can surpass this. Jara is the big thing. In Srimad Bhagavad Gita, 13th chapter, Krishna mentions there, he says, Etad jnanam iti proktam, ajnanam yadato anyataha. So he gives all list. I'm not having time, so I could tell that, but this is there, the list is there. In that, one of the verse is there. Indriyaneshu vairagyam, anahankara evacha, janma mrityu jara vyadi, dukkha doshanu darshanam. So there also he mentions that janma mrityu jara vyadi. So jara is there, mrityu is there. And janma and vyadi also is there, accompanied with. They are like get one, buy one free. As soon as you take birth, definitely you will have to have your old age, you will have to have your death, and you will have to have your all diseases. Different type of diseases are there. Doctor knows so many names have been put to everything. This and that, that and this, you know that all. Definitely so many are there. They are just suffering also. So these all things are there, and no one can surpass that. Even death also. Death is like it is a big trauma. No one wants to experience that death, but everyone has to experience that death. This is very important, you know. No one wants to go to that death. So, you know that Yudhishthir Maharaj and Yaksha, they had a big conversation amongst them. And in that, so many questions were asked. And Yaksha asked one question in that. He said that, Kim āśrityam param? Kim āśrityam param? What is the ultimate surprise, a big miracle, big surprise? Yudhishthir Maharaj told that, Ahani ahani bhutani gacchanti yama mandiram. Steshaha shavara minchanti. Atha kim āśrityam param? Ahani ahani bhutani gacchanti yama mandiram. After each and every cycle afterwards, everyone has to go to death. You know, everyone will die. Ahani ahani bhutani gacchanti yama mandiram. They will go to the abode of Yamaraj. Sheshaha sthavaram icchanti. And everyone understands, means each individual soul, he thinks that I will remain, but everyone will go. This is a big trauma, you know. I will remain. This person will go, this person will go. You know that we have been hearing so many times in the announcement in the morning. This devotee died, this devotee died. So many Prabhupada disciples, they disappeared right now. Dear Guru Maharajas and the dear disciples of Srila Prabhupada, they disappeared. Means that soul already went to Golok Dham. Body already like put into pyre and that burned, we burned already. The body is not remaining, but the soul is there. They went to Golok Dham. But this death trauma is there. It is very, very like frightening, scaring. You know, in Hindi we say that marne ka naam lo mat bala, marna buri bala. Marne ka naam mat lo, marna buri bala. don't take the name of this death. It is very dangerous. I do not want to die. No one wants to die. Several things we have been doing for just to remain alive, be in this consciousness. So this particular thing is there. And here, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur especially, and this Baldev Vidyabhushan, let me tell about Baldev Vidyabhushan first. So he mentioned that this particular verse is for Yoga Mishra Bhakti. Yoga Mishra, yogi. Because you see that in this verse they are desiring something. They are desiring for liberation. Jarā-maraṇa-mokṣāya. They are desiring liberation from this old age and death. So they have some desire. But what did they do? The best thing they have done, that they completely surrendered themselves to Lord Krishna. And if you just reconnect with Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he reminds us that Chaturvida bhajante maam janak sukritano arjuno artor artarthi jidnyasu jnani cha bharaturshabha. So he reminds us. He says that tadeva adhyātmam straya sakama bhajanti maam praptiti nivartati. The three types of persons are there. Chaturvida we say, artho, jigyasu, artharthi. These three types of trayaha, sakam bhakta, mam bhajantaha. So these three devotees, they have their desires, they have their own conception, but still they surrendered themselves, they started their devotional service. It is clearly mentioned that they do and they enjoy afterwards. They constantly associate the pure devotees, and afterwards they completely become purified. They become purified, you know. The process is like that only. This process of devotional service is so sublime. It is mentioned, Shukdev Goswami says that, yat kṛtsnam, yat mरणम, yat īkshanam, yat vandanam, yat shravanam, yat aharahanam, lokas sadyo vidunoti kalmasham, tasmai subhadra sause namo namaha. Let me offer my humble obeisances unto the auspiciousness, whom glorification, remembrance, and audience, prayers, hearing and worship at once cleanses all the sinful reactions of that performer. Whoever performs this, kṛtsnam or smaranam they do, they remember Krishna, they see Krishna, audience, they just go and see Krishna. In our Vrindavan and especially our Radha Shamsundar, on all temples I have seen that. They rush towards Krishna. In Bankeberi they rush towards Krishna to just see that particular body, the transcendental body of Lord Krishna, DT form. Everyone sees that. So just by seeing that, cleanses at all. At once it cleanses all the sinful reactions that performer, whoever sees that. It is clearly mentioned by Shukdev Goswami. So this sublime process is there, and this whoever is there, Sakam Bhaktas are there, and everyone has that own like inclination. Karma Mishra Bhakti, Jnana Mishra Bhakti, Yoga Mishra Bhakti, or like Nishkam Karma is there. Our Bhakti Rasamru Sindhu or Rupa Goswami says that Anna Abhilashita Shunya Jnana Karma Dhyanavruta Anukulena Krishna Anushilanam Bhakti Ruttamaha. He gives this definition. This definition has so much meaning. Bhakti Uttama, Uttama Bhakti, the topmost Bhakti. What is the meaning of that topmost bhakti? What is the definition of that? This is what definition. Anya abhilashita shunya jnana karma dhyanavrutam. There is no jnana, no karma. No tinge of this mixture of karma mishra bhakti or jnana mishra bhakti. Anya abhilashita shunyam. Whatever desires are there, they are completely becoming zero. Anya abhilashita shunyam jnana karma dhyanavrutam. Anukulena Krishna anushilanam. Anukulena. So many different things are there just to explain this anukulena. You know that Kamsa also had that remembrance towards Krishna, but this was not anikul. This is all pratikul. All demons were constantly meditating, constantly thinking about Krishna. But that is pratikul. They wanted to kill Krishna. They wanted to harm Krishna. Anukul means just to please Krishna, to make him happy in all different ways. So they wanted to make him happy. Anukulena Krishna Anushulam Bhakti Ruttama. This is the topmost devotional service in our life. So jarā-maraṇa-mokṣāya maṁ āśritya yatanti. This maṁ āśritya, it is a big topic, it is a big topic. Within 10 minutes, within half an hour, that cannot be explained. Tadvidi pranipatena pariprashna sevaya. Upadekshati te jnanam jnaninas tattva darshinaha. That tattvadarshi, that realized soul, that knowledgeable person, he will guide how to go and how to surrender themselves. No, it is a big topic, Ashrita, it is not easy. We say that, Sri Krishna said several times that, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam raja. Ahaṁ tvam sarvapebhyo mokṣishyami ma shuchaha. Krishna says that, but it is very difficult, Srila Prabhupada, one time the same question was asked that, Prabhupada, how much time it will take? Srila Prabhupada told within 5 minutes. Just sarva dharman parityajya, you just leave all the kaitav dharmas and just surrender unto Krishna, that's all. Your all sins will be eradicated. All sins will be eradicated and you will not fear. Don't fear. Do not fear, Krishna says in this particular verse. So it is very easy to surrender Krishna in one way, but it is very difficult to understand and surrender him. Because you see that so many varieties are there. Some are inclined towards devotional service, to demigods. It is mentioned here. Srila Prabhupada also mentioned that same what mentioned in Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur's commentary. These, some of the demigod worshippers, they will never have the authority to do bhajan. They cannot enter to devotional service of Lord Krishna. They cannot enter. Clearly mentioned. That same thing it is mentioned in Purport. They cannot enter because that is completely different, Kuyoginam. Kuyoginam, this is the word from Srimad Bhagavatam. Shukdev Goswami says that Kuyoginam, Muhu Kuyoginam. This Kuyoginam, those who are non-devotee, viduḥ kastaya, for them it is very difficult. For them it is very difficult. They can't achieve Krishna's lotus feet. Krishna's lotus feet is far away, far away. And without Krishna's lotus feet, you see that Sakam karmis, those who have inclination towards gaining some desire, but they have some sukruta. Because of that, they have accepted Krishna and they started their devotional service. Because of that, they will achieve Krishna. And same thing it is happening here. Clearly mentioned that te brahma tad viduḥ kṛtsnam adhyātma karma cākhilam samāśritaha mam āśritaha. Keval by surrendering Krishna. You know that the topmost surrendered devotee is a gopis. Gopis, when they surrender themselves, they completely surrender. The famous verse is there. They surpassed this old age or this death. They were not they were not scared about that. These gopis or these inhabitants of Vrindavan, they never scared about that. Their life and soul was Krishna only. Their life and soul was Krishna. That famous verse is there of Gopi Geet. Jayati te dikam janmana vrajaha shrayata indira shashvadatrahi daita drishyatam dikshutavaka tvai dritan sava Svam vichindvate. Stvai dhritānsava stvam vichindvate. Dhrita asava. They just maintain their life. Tvam vichindvate. Just to, we want to search, we want to just get you back. That's why they just kept their life. Otherwise they would have just leave that life. In many cases, they left their, they wanted to leave their lives. Here only this Kaliya Ghat is there. Whenever we go and just visit that place, that big incident happened. Krishna was completely covered by Kaliya's all tail. Full body was covered like that. So at that time, all the inhabitants of Vrindavan, when they were there at the bank of river, when they get to know, they rushed towards that banks of river of Yamuna, and they saw that all different calamity, and they became so scared. They wanted to leave their life. So many they wanted to just jump into and just leave their life, or those who could do something, they wanted to save Krishna in many ways. Of course, Balaram was there and he stopped them. He told that don't worry about that, Krishna will take care. And by seeing this particular incident, Krishna, he got to know that if I will not just get rid from these clutches of Kaliya, then definitely they will leave their life. And definitely immediately they just freed from that. And here also when gopis, they saw that Krishna was being taken on the chariot and he was just being carried towards Mathura. At that time also, all the gopis, they wanted to leave their life. This is the situation. They surpassed the old and birth age. You know, this particular jarā-maraṇa, it is very difficult to digest, you know. Some of the old personalities are there here. I'll be very soon attending. Some of them are very young right now. So the experience is completely different. In birth, in the old age, you know, Krishna tvadiya pada pankaja panjarantam addaiva ve vishatu manasa rajahamsa prana prayana samaye kafavata pittai kantavarodhana vido mरणम kutaste. This Kulashekar Acharya, he did very wonderful verses are there. He glorified. Srila Prabhupada loved this, you know, loved this, and many times he just recited this particular verse. Krishna tvadiya padapankaja panjarantam. Hey Krishna, your feet is like a lotus. Panjarantam, your lotus completely just tangled. That stem is there and that lotus feet is there. Addaiva me vishatu manasa rajan. Let me just enter my mind, my swan-like mind into that. You know, swan, he loves to enter. He is always in the Manasarovar. So Manasa Raja Hamsaha. So let me just enter into that lotus feet. Krishna can ask this question, why? What is the problem? Why do you need right now? You are very small. Now let it be. Enjoy this material world. Don't worry about that. When that old age will come, at that time start your bhakti. Many times we hear that from parents, from others. He clearly mentions that prana prayana samaya kapavata pittai. Prana prayana samaya. When there is a time to leave this body. Kapha vata pittai, kaph vata pittai, bile, air and mucus. These all are imbalanced, you know. It is very important to balance these, then keep our health healthy. But if you imbalance these things, then definitely you will be in trouble. Very much trouble. So at that time, in that old age time, all limbs are completely dwindled and this all, so many things are there which you know, which some of them are experiencing right now, some they know that, their parents, so many things are there, they are seeing that. Prana prayana samay kafavata pitte, kantha avarodhana vidho, kantha avarodhana vidho. Here, it gets choked up. it doesn't come out, gad, 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 jag, jag. So the complete word doesn't come. It stays here only. It doesn't know what to say and what not to say. So this is the performance at the time of death, at the time of old age. Kanthavrajana smaranam kutaste. How may I remember you? It is very difficult, It is very difficult. So these all things are there. It is very difficult to remember Krishna. But if Krishna helps us, as he is helping here to that yogi, that Yogamishra Bhakta, when we surrender, Samasita ye pada pallava plavam, bhavam budir vatsa padam param padam, padam padam yat vipadam nateshat, mahat padam punya yesho morare. These all verses are there, that there is no time to explain that. Samasita pada pallava plavam, mahat padam punya yesho morare, bhavam budir vatsa padam param, padam padam yad vipadam natesham. To that particular person, there will not be any dangerous step who surrenders. Samasita padavala, who surrenders, who takes the boat of that lotus feet. Samasitaha pada pallava plavam, mahat padam punya murare. This for great souls or cosmic manifestation, that is the base, you can say, that lotus feet is the base. So what happens that bhavam budir vatsa padam param padam, this particular material world in which you are existing here, that material world, it becomes like a water in the cow or calf's hoof prints is there. That much it becomes, material world, it becomes that much. Anyone can go, even a small boy, he can just jump. Calves, it is told calves, Cows' hoof prints are bigger one, but it is said calves. Vatsa padam, param padam, padam padam yat vipadam nateshan. And to that particular person there is no danger. He will always be protected by Lord Krishna. So that's why every soul's, that it is like a prime duty to surrender themselves. Anyhow, ena kena mana Krishna niveset, ena tena prakarena mana Krishna niveset. No problem. So many hindrances will there, so many troublesomes will come. But you can just go on. As I told that, yat kṛtsnam, yat mरणम. So many varieties are there. So many things are there. And the main thing is that, as it is said that yogi, if they will not surrender themselves, then they cannot achieve. Try to understand. Karma yogi, they cannot achieve. Jnana yogi, they cannot achieve. And dhyan yogi, they cannot achieve. Tapasvina dhanapara yashasvino, manasvina mantravida sumangala, kṣemam na vinnanti yada vina yadarpanam, tasmai subhasa sause namo namaha. It is also said by Shukadeva Goswami in his chapter, second canto. It is all, there also it is told clearly that kṣemam na vinnanti vina yadarpanam. Without surrendering, without dedicating themselves to the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, there is no kṣema. They will not gain any fruit. Clearly it is mentioned. Tapasvina, dhanapara. He may be tapasvi, he may be a big austere person. Tapasvina, dhanapara. He may be like so much generous. Yashasvino, he may be famous. Manasvinaha, he may be a mystic, he just thinks about that. Mantravida, he may be expert in mantras. And Sumangala, he may be expert in that Vedic principles. But what is the use that? Kṣemam na vinnanti vinaya darpanam. That same thing it happened there. These particular devotees who were Yogamishra Bhaktas, they surrendered themselves, they became devotee, and now they'll be getting this fruit is there. Te brahma tad viduḥ kṛtsnam adhyātmam karma cākhilam. So, thank you very much. I got an opportunity. I'll tell you that many years back, Parvati Mata, who happened to be in charge of this particular Bhagavad Gita classes, many years back, I do remember, I used to come for Mangalarti. She used to see me because she saw that I recite so many verses, and she saw me and she grabbed me. She forced me to give lecture. I still remember, whenever I'm just sitting after so many years, I do not want, lecture, lecture, lecture. I don't like. I avoid it. Lecture likes me. I can't avoid. So this is the position of mine. Many years back, Parvati Mataji forced me to give a lecture. I told that, see, I cannot give, so I have some restrictions, some things are there. She told that, don't worry, you just come and sit and sing and say something. So I still remember her, and at her lotus feet, my humble obeisances, and thank you very much that for opportunity on behalf of this ISKCON management. They have given a great opportunity to me, and I tried my level best to remain here and explain something. Yat adhyātmaṁ yat matihi. According to my realization, I'm just trying to put this. So in next verse, you'll be seeing the verse is connected to this. Sādhi bhūtādi daivam sādhi yajñam viduḥ prayan kalepi manasa te viduryukta cetasa. This particular verse will be there for tomorrow's speaker. He will speak about this, he will explain about this, and next you will be entering to 8th chapter, which is Bhagavad Prapti. You will get to know about that. So I'll rest my words here, and if any queries are there, if doubts are there, already time has passed away, 6:35. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.